Warning: this video discusses depression, verbal abuse, and a mental health crisis. Who better to address such heavy topics? 2016 was a bad year for me. Work was stressful, mom's Alzheimer's was worsening, and a national nightmare was unfolding. Misery loves company, so a friend and I started venting to each other about our jobs. We got so close, I fell for them and offered for them to move into my apartment. Big mistake. My new roommate said things like, "Your voice is corny. You're very insecure. Your clothes aren't cool. You don't look like the kind of person I'd sleep with. I hate the names you give stories. And your writing's sterile." Here's one they left out. "You're terrible at picking roommates." My roommate moved out, but their words stuck with me. I started wondering whether the world would be a better place without me. I now know that's not true, but at the time, it felt true. And when something feels true, no one can talk me out of it, not even me. I just didn't see a reason to keep going. I no longer lived at mom's house, so I no longer had family to take care of. My boss often berated me, so I figured I was doing my job poorly. And I felt like my job wasn't making a positive difference anyway. Unlike now, when I'm helping people with my weird videos. On top of all that, my ex-roommate, whom I'd loved and respected, clearly didn't think much of me. I thought, if even they didn't like me, I might as well just give up. Real talk. Out of all my videos, this one was the hardest to write jokes for. One reason why I went to such a bad place mentally is I have depression, also known as clinical depression or major depressive disorder. It might be surprising that there can be sadness under all this beauty. To quote the Mayo Clinic, "More than just a bout of the blues, depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. It affects how you feel, think, and behave, and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. You may have trouble doing normal day-to-day activities, and sometimes you may feel as if life isn't worth living." That brings me to the Interpersonal Theory of a word the algorithm doesn't like. Developed by Dr. Thomas E. Joyner Jr., this theory says an attempt has 3 causes. 1. Thwarted belongingness, or thinking, "I am alone." Thwarted belongingness includes loneliness, I feel disconnected from others, and absence of reciprocal care, I have no one to turn to and I don't support others. Like a support with no tank to heal and be protected by. Risk factors for loneliness include living alone, having few social supports, and having a non-intact family. I wonder if it counts as a broken home when my parents were never married in the first place. Risk factors for absence of reciprocal care include death, family conflict, and social withdrawal. As I was researching this, I went check, check, and check. The second cause of an attempt is perceived burdensomeness, or thinking, "I am a burden." Perceived burdensomeness includes liability, my death is worth more than my life to others, and self-hate. I hate myself. I hated myself before I realized how great I am. Risk factors for self-hate include shame, self-blame, and low self-esteem. And risk factors for liability include feeling unwanted or expendable, the belief that one is a burden on their family, and distress from hardships, such as unemployment. My own hardships included being employed. Together, the first 2 causes of an attempt, thwarted belongingness and perceived burdensomeness, form a desire. I know I'm talking about this indirectly, but again, the algorithm. The third and final cause of an attempt is acquired capability, which includes lowered fear of death and elevated physical pain tolerance. Risk factors for acquired capability include impulsivity, previous attempts, and childhood maltreatment. To paraphrase Freud, always blame the parents. Luckily, I never got to the center of this depressing Venn diagram, but I did get dangerously close. The worst I ever felt was a couple years after my roommate moved out, when I was turned down by someone else I had feelings for. I felt so awful. A few days later, I randomly burst into tears at work. Thank God I had my own office. I didn't think I should be alone, so I invited a friend to spend the weekend with me. We saw a movie, ate out, and talked about nothing. It was the most important nothing I never did. Our time together reminded me I'm capable of smiling and making others smile. Thanks to my friend and the months of therapy I'd done, I finally stopped feeling like I couldn't keep going. That's why I hate when people say, "You need therapy," as an insult. That's like thinking it's an insult to say, "You need aspirin." Speaking of therapy, the Mayo Clinic recommends these 3 preventative steps. 1. Get the treatment you need. 2. Establish your support network. And 3. Remember, feelings are temporary. Think of them as brief debuffs. If you're in crisis, a hotline might help. The Trevor Project, link in bio, is for queer people in the US under 25, so I'm just barely ineligible. You can go to chat.trvr.org, call 1-866-488-7386, or text 678-678. And yes, they had that number before 67 was a thing. Regardless of whether you're young or queer, you can call or text 988 in the US or Canada. But the US hotline cut the option for queer youth last year, and they can call the cops without your consent. Like Sonic says, there always seems to be a lot of police around when you don't need them. I won't repeat glib platitudes like "it gets better" or "you have a lot to live for." I don't know your life, and I don't want to say things I don't know to be true. There's enough of that already. I do know this. When someone's life ends, that eliminates every possible future version of that person, including versions who are happier than they used to be. As a future version of my past self, I'm so glad I'm still here. If you're not already, I hope you can someday be glad too. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. That helps me help more people. If you're comfortable, leave a comment about your own mental health struggles. And remember, to quote Tyrion Lannister, death is so terribly final, while life is full of possibilities.